Good morning all. I am Dr. Rajita Nair. I am from Department of English, Vardhaman College of Engineering. We are going to discuss the topic active and passive voice. So this is a very simple one actually, and many students they feel very comfortable with active and passive voice. And in English generally we use passive voice most of the time. Active voice is used in our native languages. In passive voice, why do we use this passive voice? Reason is that in all the notices and all the circulars and all, we have to use some polite words. So these sentences which are related to passive voice, they indicate politeness. That's why we go for passive voice in circulars and rest of the any documents which we send to all the departments and all. So how to convert these active sentences from active sentences to passive voice or passive sentences to active sentences. Let's discuss that one. Now we are going to discuss how to convert passive sentences to active sentences and active sentences to passive sentences. So let us focus on how to convert them from active to passive sentences. Okay. So why do we call the meaning wise both the sentences are equal? So why should we learn this active voice and passive voice or any other grammar component? Because can't we go for active voice? Why should we go for passive voice? Many students have this doubt. The thing is that we need some variety to bring beauty to the language or fragrance to the language. We need to go for variety of sentences so that we can get when you learn passive sentences. So okay, then how to convert them? How to convert sentences from active to passive sentences? So first thing is that if you want to learn this voice properly, we should have a good command over tenses. That we learned the previous class. So today, what is the difference between active voice and passive voice? In active voice, subject is active. It does the action. Whereas in the passive voice, it is not active. It doesn't do any action directly, but meaning wise both the sentences are same. And what are the rules when you are converting a sentence from active voice to passive voice? There are major two rules. The first one is that we can't change all types of sentences from active voice to passive voice. Like we have 12 tenses. All the 12 tenses cannot be converted from active voice to passive voice or vice versa we can say. Only 8 tenses can be converted. Like we have 12 tenses. Out of these 12 tenses, only the 8 tenses can be converted. Like simple present, all the simple present, simple past, simple future. And present continuous and past continuous. Future continuous cannot be converted. Then present perfect, past perfect and future perfect. So totally we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 tenses can be converted into passive to active or active to passive. Passive to active or active to passive. And remaining 4 tenses like future continuous, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, future perfect continuous cannot be converted. This is the first rule. The second rule is that only transitive verbs can be converted into passive voice. Then what is transitive verb? Transitive verb is that which denotes an action and takes an object. In a sentence, if you find a verb which denotes an action and takes an object, then it is called transitive verb. If it doesn't take an object, then it is called intransitive verb. So sentences with transitive verbs can be converted into the other voice. Sentences without an object, that is which contain intransitive verbs, cannot be converted into other voice. This is the second rule. First rule is that only 8 tenses can be converted, and the second rule is that transitive verbs, sentences with transitive verbs only can be converted into passive voice. So what is a transitive verb? Any sentence which contains an action verb and takes an object is called transitive verb. If it takes an object, is called transitive verb. Intransitive verbs cannot be converted. Like we can say that he is flying a kite. He is flying a kite. So here we have a subject which is followed by a helping verb and a main verb, then this is object. So this type of sentences can be converted into passive voice. Whereas you have a sentence here, birds are flying. Birds are flying. We have a subject here, helping verb, main verb, but we don't have an object. So this is called intransitive verb. So this type of sentences cannot be converted into passive voice because it contains only intransitive verb, right? So these are the major rules. So no need to struggle to convert the sentences from active to passive or passive to active. So these two rules, if you remember, it's easy, right? Let's see now. As I told you that if you are very good at tenses, if you have a very good command over tenses, then you can learn any other grammar component also easy. In the same manner, active and passive voice also you can learn easily. So here I have not given the title for this, active and passive voice. Let's take simple present and simple past. Simultaneously we can learn them. Okay. So here it is simple present, simple past. Simple present, we have a subject plus V1 plus object. Whereas in past tense, subject plus V2 plus object. See that there is an object in both the sentences, both the structures. They water the plants. They water the plants. This is an example for simple present. Let's convert this sentence into passive voice. The sentence is in active voice because the subject is active here. This is subject, this is the object. So while changing this into passive voice, bring the subject to object's place and object to subject's place. Bring the subject to object's place and object to subject's place. To start with the plants. In simple present tense, generally in the present form, what are the helping verbs generally we use? Either is or am or are. These are the helping verbs we use in present form. So here since the plants, the new subject is plural, even the past subject is also plural, the plants, it should be followed by are because it is plural form. The plants are V3 form of the verb we have to use. While changing a sentence from active voice to passive voice, we need to use V3 form of the verb, that is the past participle of the verb. The plants are watered by them. The plants are watered by them. Now we have this past tense. Let's convert this into passive voice. The only difference here and here is it's only V2, the past form of the verb. Let's take the sentence. He made a cake. He made a cake. This is the subject, this is verb, and this is object. So let's bring this to subject's place, subject to object's place. To start with, a cake, in past tense the helping verbs are was or were, either was or were. So here it is singular, so we have to use was. And what is the V3 form of the verb made? It is made. So a cake was made. Then we have to use the preposition. Most of the cases we use the preposition by. So by. What is the object form of he? That is him. So him. So we have to be thorough with all the V3 forms. If we are thorough with all the V3 forms, we can convert the sentences from active voice to passive voice. So this is a new subject. NS stands for new subject followed by was because it is singular. We are using the past form of the verb. Here either you have to use was or were. Then this is V3 followed by. Then this is new object. This is the structure. If you remember this structure, you can convert any sentence from any voice to the other voice. So here the structure for this is new subject, and here either you have to use is or am or are accordingly. If it is a plural form, you have to use are, otherwise is. If it is I, we have to use am. Then it's followed by V3, then the preposition by, then the new object. So this is slightly about simple present tense and simple past tense, positive sentences, how to convert them from active to passive voice. Okay, these are some of the examples. We can go for a number of examples. You can say that he sang a song, past tense. And what is the passive form for this? A song was, then V3 form, a song was sung by him. He sings songs, simple present tense. A song is sung by him. Only difference is in present tense we use either is or am or are. In past tense we use was or were. Rest of the words are same. As we have finished simple present and simple past, let's take up present continuous and past continuous. Present continuous under voice only we have this, and past continuous. So here the structure subject plus is, am, are plus V4. V4 is ing form of the verb plus object. Whereas here subject plus was or were plus V4 plus object. They, let's take this is plural form of the subject, so we have to go for plural form of the verb. They are building a house. They are building a house. Identify the subject and object. Bring the object to subject's place, subject to object's place. To start with, a house, which is singular, should be followed by is. If it is houses, we have to use are. Since it is singular, we have to use singular form of the verb. A house is being. In all the continuous forms, whether it is present continuous or past continuous, when you change a sentence from active voice to passive voice, we have to use being. So here a house is being. V3 form of build is built. Built, the preposition by them. Then this is past continuous. She was planting saplings. She was planting saplings. Identify the subject. This is object. To start with, saplings. Since the new subject is plural form, we have to use were. If it is only sapling, you have to use was. Since we have the plural form of the subject, so saplings were. So here also continuous form we have to use being. Being, V3 form, planted by her. This is a object form of she. So here the structure is new subject is, am, are, followed by being. Then we have V3 form of the verb followed by the preposition by. Then we have new object. Same thing here. This is also new subject. Here it varies. That is was or were plus being, V3 form of the verb plus by plus new object. So if you remember this structure, you can convert any sentence from active voice to passive voice. This is the only structure. In present continuous, past continuous, you come across the word being in the passive form. And anyhow, future continuous we can't convert. We can't convert future continuous from active voice to passive voice. And the next one is present perfect, perfect, past perfect and future perfect. So here only difference is helping verbs. In present perfect or past perfect. In present perfect we use a helping verb either have or has followed by V3. Past perfect we use had plus V3. And in all these perfect tenses, the common thing is that V3 form. That is past participle of the verb. So subject plus have or has plus V3 plus object. Whereas here subject plus had plus V3 plus object. In future perfect, subject plus will or shall plus have plus V3 plus object. Okay, this is a structure for active sentences or active form or active voice. She has taken breakfast. She has taken breakfast. Subject, since it is third person, we are using has. Let's go for another sentence, that is they. If it is they or you or we or I, we have to use have. They have taken breakfast. Let's see once again. Identify the subject, identify the verb, helping verb. Then we have this. This is has helping verb. This is object. This is subject. Bring this to this place and this to this place. So to start with, breakfast has. In all the perfect tenses, when you change a sentence from active voice to passive voice, we need to use been. In continuous forms, we use being. In perfect forms, we use been. Breakfast has been taken by her. Whereas here, breakfast has. Here, breakfast is singular, so we have to use has. then been, then taken by them. So this is the new subject followed by have or has plus been plus V3 plus by, then new object. The structure for passive form, present perfect. Then this is the structure for active sentence. Subject is followed by helping verb had plus V3 plus object. She had broken the glass. She had broken the glass. We have a perfect subject and also we have an object. So to start with the glass, here we don't have any confusion whether it is singular or plural, the same helping verb is used, that is had. And once again, since it is perfect tense, we have to use been. Been, already we have the V3 form broken, so as it is you can jot down. So the glass had been broken by, the object form of she is her. The subject, the structure goes like this: new subject followed by had, then it is been, V3, then this is the preposition by, then this is new object. This structure for, these are the sentences for present perfect and past perfect. Only difference you find here is the helping verbs. Here it is have or has, there it is had. Rest of the things are same structure wise. Now we have the last one, that is future perfect. Since there is no place, once again I will write it, future perfect, future perfect. So subject will, shall, have plus V3 plus object. So they will have killed the lion. They will have killed the lion. Generally we use this future perfect to assume some action, we use it. We assume certain things to happen in future. At that time we use future perfect tense. So this is the structure. So identify the subject and the object. Bring that line here. That becomes a new subject. The lion, will remains will, have. This is also perfect tense, so you have to use been, killed by them. So this becomes new subject followed by will or shall plus have plus been plus V3 plus by plus new object. Right? This is an example for future perfect tense. We will have finished our graduation or BTech by 2027. So we started now, the action started now, and we are assuming that action to be finished in 2027 or 28. Or we can say that it may happen or it may not happen due to many reasons, but we assume that. Right? So we have finished all the tenses: simple present, simple past. I think one tense is left out, that is simple future. Simple future. Subject plus will or shall plus V1 plus object. This is used for any action, to indicate any action which is going to take place in future. He will learn the lesson. He will learn the lesson. Subject, and this is object. So bring it here. The lesson will. So in future tense, and if you use any model auxiliaries with this structure, then if you want to convert that sentence into passive voice, we need to use be here. Be, the lesson will be. V3 form of learn is learnt by him. The lesson will be learnt by him. So this is new subject followed by will or shall plus be plus V3 form plus by plus new object. So with this we have finished active voice and passive voice, how to convert them. The same manner, if you want to convert sentences from passive to active also, you have to follow the same structure. It's easy to remember, and we have other tenses, like we can say even WH questions also can be converted into passive form. That we'll learn some other time. So just I have finished only the positive sentences for active voice and passive voice. Hope you understood it very well. Thank you.